Today we're sitting down with Linda Nickey and talking about her coaching practice. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Isabella.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about your coaching practice.
I've been a coach for many years, and I've always coached around making a plan to succeed wherever you want to go in your life, health, relationships. So I've been coaching through my corporate career, I've been coaching individually, I've been coaching through workshops, and it always starts with identifying what is it that you want to change, enhance, or perhaps even eliminate from your life. And so that coaching has been of all ages and in different environments, but it's always been around helping people discover what it is that they want to do that they're not doing.
Sounds great. And tell us a little bit about tapping. How did you come across that?
About a year and a half ago, I was invited to a tapping summit workshop online, 10 days, and I didn't do it. But I listened to all of the speakers that were on that summit. And after I listened to each of those individuals talking about tapping, I knew it was an extension for me to add that to my coaching practice because it's one more step to help people get clear.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about what tapping actually is?
Tapping is a method of neutralizing things that are going on in our life and helping us identify and just speak it out loud, whatever it is. And I'll just use headache. I have headaches all the time. I have headaches. So what we want to do is not discount that because it truly is a part of you. So we would be tapping on acknowledging that we have a headache, and we would tap on what's called our energy channels and their acupuncture meridians. It's ancient Chinese culture. They've used this for many, many years. It's been in the United States since the early 70s. And we tap on these energy spots, and it helps release stagnant energy in our energy channel.
Very interesting. So how many energy spots do we have in our body?
There are a lot, but there are really 9 that we focus on that are the primary, because some of them overlap in their connection. So when I tap with people, I tap on 9 locations.
So where are those locations?
The location that we start with is called the karate chop location. It's on the side of the hand. And this is where we start to tap, and we talk about what it is that is going on that you're not happy about. And it's called a setup statement. So if it's headaches, we'd be saying, I have these miserable headaches. I am so sick of having headaches. So that would be where we would start it. And then the other locations, would you like me to show you where those are?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
The other locations are, and you can do these in different rotation, however the way that I've learned them and I've used the most with my clients is this particular way. Our first one that we tap on is right in the corner of the eye, and it's between the kind of the nose upper bone and the eyebrow, and you just tap gently, like maybe 3 to 10 times, it depends on, you kind of know. And the second one is right off to the eye, there's a kind of little indentation, and you would just tap gently on that. And when we tap on these, we actually are acknowledging that, yes, I have a headache, and I don't like it, yes. And then we go to the one under the eye, which is a little crevice, and gently tap on that, and rephrase it again, repeat the phrase. I have a headache, I'm sick of having headaches. And there's a spot right under the nose, and between the little lines we have, and you just tap gently there, and again, repeat the phrase, I am so sick of having these headaches. And then we have one in the chin, right where that creases below the lip, above the jaw. So we tap on that. And once again, we acknowledge by repeating the phrase, I am so sick of having a headache. And the collarbone, a little bit harder, but you have that little crevice, and then it's right off to the side. I tap with both hands. You can tap with one side, both sides, however you like to do it. And then you just say once again, acknowledge, I am sick of these headaches. Cannot stand having headaches any longer. And then there's one under the armpit, and it's about 4 inches down at the bra line for women, at the men nipple level, and you continue to tap. And you continue to express that this headache is just annoying you, and you're sick of having this headache. And the last one, you can do this with one hand or two. Sometimes I do it with two just because I like to. Cover that whole space. And then you'll say one more time, I am so sick of having headaches. This headache is just driving me crazy. And then we have done a full round of tapping for the first time. That could be done once or twice, however many times we think we need to do it.
So, what kind of issues can tapping help?
It can help many, many things. The people that I have worked with, I'll just give you that range because I can talk to those more personally. But I've had people come to me with headaches, people that are self-sabotaging, procrastination, irritable bowel, relationship issue, health, their general health. They're tired all the time and they're feeling anxious about it. So anxiety has come up several times. Or stress, anxiety, overwhelm, they kind of get lumped together.
So would you say that it works not only on physical, but also on emotional and spiritual
Yes,
level?
it would. And the people that sometimes are having one type of thing going on in their body and they want to tap on that, what they really discover is I am having this anxiety and I just can hardly stand it anymore. I'm on such overwhelm, I can't even think straight. And we might then discover that what's really going on is that they are running low on money. Finances are their problem. Or it might be discovered that they're having a relationship problem, camouflaged by this anxiety. Not even camouflaged, but showing its place in their life as anxiety. Mm-hmm.
So how many times do you have to tap on certain issue in order to see or feel results?
I have had people feel results after spending 5 to 7 minutes with them. And normally that means that we have a conversation, what's going on, and then we identify, I think you want to tap today about whatever that issue is, and we do our setup statement with the karate chop and identify and say out loud what it is, letting our body know that we're accepting that this is part of us, we just don't like it. We just want to get rid of it. Even though it's going on, I continue to love and accept and honor myself, yet I want to get rid of this. So the tapping then on all the spots that we went around with the rephrasing and repeating statement, I've done that as many as 5 times. I've done it as few as 2. And it's almost like a natural way to tell when someone is just, I can see in their face if they're releasing something. So I can usually tell when it's a good time. But I never end a coaching tapping session without instilling something that's a positive aspect for them to refocus now that they got rid of some of the negative part.
I see. So can you tell us about how tapping has helped you personally?
Well, I started to learn about tapping because I had something I wanted to check it out on. I won't work with somebody if I haven't tried it on myself to see if it really works. And I was having some things that were reoccurring, actually, that come up, like a stress that reoccurred from the past. That was the first thing I tapped on. And I really wanted to move past that negative stress that was just stuck in my energy flow. I mean, my meridians were corroded with some old stress. And I wanted to get rid of those old thoughts. They actually went back to childhood, the first one I did. And I thought, because you never know what's going to trigger an old wound. So, and these things can be like, you know, it can be like, as an example, just a little segue, I was so embarrassed because people started laughing at me when I gave a presentation in school. That's stuck somewhere in our system. And so in my case, it was like, there were certain things that triggered this feeling that I would get, which I didn't like the way it made me feel. I felt inferior and I felt a little less self-confident when something would trigger that. So that's what I tapped on. And I actually tapped on it for a day. I tapped, took a break, I went back and tapped again, took a break, just went through my whole day, but every time that I start thinking about that particular situation, I would just tap again. So I probably tapped 4 or 5 times that day. And that thought never enters my mind the way it used to enter my mind.
So
it's
in a
just
sense
done.
You neutralized
I
it.
neutralized it totally. I got done with it.
That's very impressive. So how often do you tap?
Well, personally, I enjoy doing it, and I tap on everything. So it'd be rare for me not to tap every day. maybe for 3 minutes, maybe for 5, and it depends on what's going on in my life. But there's so many things to tap about that you don't have to have anything big going on in your life. I tapped yesterday about 6 times about doing this interview.
Did it work?
I'm just doing my best.
I think you're doing
It
great.
made me very apprehensive, not to talk to you and answer your questions, but I wanted to do a really good job so that people would understand that tapping is something you can do for anything. You can do it at home. You can do it in the car even. So there are all kinds of ways to use it, and I just wanted to be sure by the time somebody had heard this interview and watched the tapping session that they would say, I can tap on these. My kids made me crazy this morning, and I said a few things I didn't mean to say. I was not nice, and that bothers me right now. Well, let's just tap into that then. Even though these kids made me crazy today and I said things I didn't mean to, I still accept and choose to love and honor myself. And then you can go through the process and end it on something that's the positive ones, where I'm going to do better tomorrow. I won't allow that to happen again. Whatever you want, whatever happens. But so that I tap on everything.
Sounds amazing. Sounds like I want to try this.
And I also tap. I do surrogate tapping for friends too sometimes, and family.
What's that?
It's that I bring them to my mind, and we're all energy, so I know we're connected somehow. But I bring such a clear image of the person to my mind, and I know what they're going through, and what they might need some tapping with if we were together. And I just put them in that really powerful place in my mind, and I do a tapping session on behalf of them. I don't tell them necessarily that I've done it or whatever. I have checked in a few times to say, did you feel any different yesterday or whatever? And sometimes people will say, I felt like you were thinking about me.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, to wrap it up, what would you say, why do you recommend tapping?
I recommend tapping because it's the easiest modality that I know of to have the most significant results quickly.
That sounds amazing.
And anybody can do it.
And you can tap with someone or by yourself, right?
Yes. Part of my goal with this and some of the other coaching I'm doing with people face-to-face is that I encourage them when we're done, if they need to have me redo it so they can pay better attention to how the flow goes, to do it often. Like the one lady I have that has anxiety, she probably has to do it like maybe 3 or 4 times in her office environment daily if she was really going to bring that calmness, because what it does is it calms us down as we tap on these meridian energy channels. It just brings calmness, and it's so good to be sure to remember to breathe in, breathe out, and that will kind of reset the program for us and put us in a calmer place.
Well, it sounds great. I'm really looking forward to seeing your videos with tapping on certain topics. Thank you so much for talking to us today. We're looking forward to seeing you online.
Well, thank you so much, Isabella.